ほらいた。そりゃほらいた。
16年前、ある
眠いのよ。夕べスラタが寝かせてくれなかったから。
いやだから誤解した
スラタ下手なのに何でもするから。
ちょっと黙ってろって俺
朝までしたから体が痛いわ。
濡れちゃう。服は脱いだ方が。
男子なの。
and the family she was staying with, they had to actually like step in and be like, "You're being awkward and rude. They don't do that."
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
That's the thing, because I think Scandinavian people, not just Norwegian, Finns, or whatever, all of them, we get like nervous if you start asking like a person who's on their job how they're doing or like how their day has been. There's like, I'm fine, you know. They get
What are you guys hiding? You sound like a colony of like murderers or
You
something.
sound like
hiding a secret.
you sound like the
Dude,
wet
we just
dream
mind our
of
own business,
some
man.
guy.
What did I say?
Dude, you sound like a country that somebody made up who jacks off to hentai. Like all the girls are super shy, and you touch them, they come, and everybody's like super. I say hello, and she's like, don't talk to me. Senpai's talking to me.
Yeah, that's
that even real?
kind of how it is. But until you introduce alcohol, that's like how we cope with it. That's how you break the ice. It's just alcohol. That's it.
Classic stuff. So what are some other oddities or cultural differences of Norway and Scandinavia you can bring up?
Do you guys have a big flat Earth movement over there?
No, I don't think we have it all.
Fucking idiots, then, huh?
The entire country
know
is
the truth?
pretty much atheist. No flat earthers that I know of.
Missing
Just-
out, man.
It seems to be some really good content, yeah. So some good entertainment to be had, but we unfortunately aren't blessed with those.
Not yet. You need to get them on Facebook, man. That'll open their eyes.
Yeah. No, we just we don't have that whole movement over here. Seems to be. I've actually only seen American people on that.
Well, okay, yeah.
What?
So there,
No,
Imagine
come
why.
on. That's
That makes no-
crazy.
That makes no sense.
Yeah, how could that possibly be? Next,
It's
just tell
just-
me
it's just a
anti-vaxxers is a
hunch.
primarily American movement. What? Come on.
Yeah.
there's
There's a
something
gut
that
feeling,
every
man.
country cares the most about. Where if you go on Twitter or some other social media on that country's region, it'll show you that top trending hashtag in that country. What is it for Norway? What are you guys are always? What is it that riles you guys up?
I have no idea. I'm completely detached from my country. I do not care. Like I've been on the internet and been like a very like international
envy
person
you.
ever since I was like literally 12 years old.
I envy you.
Yeah, I barely even know who our prime minister is. Like it's sometimes I forget.
I mean,
So what moral code do you follow then? Do you follow your country's moral code or do you follow the American moral code?
you sound like
What's the
a religious
what does
nut
that
now.
mean? What
It's
is
like, without God, how do you know what morality is?
Yeah.
You don't read the
In
Bible.
Norway,
How do you
do
know
they
not to
murder
rape
left
and
and
kill?
right?
Well, like, are you more of an American now that you you live on the internet and you know more about the American culture, or do you still?
The internet isn't entirely just America, Jack.
It's mostly
it really
it's true
is.
because it's
It
mostly
really is.
American. Norwegian people on the internet mainly speak, or it used to be. It's kind of shifting now because like children play Fortnite and children are Norwegian too, and they learn to speak English. But it used to be that Norwegian people just hang out with on like fucking Facebook or very surface level stuff, and they don't go into anything else. And most people just don't go much on the internet. So Norwegian is very, very small on the net, except for like in the recent years, you know.
Yeah, I think the internet is far more American.
Very American. Especially Twitter.
You and
I guess that
is
does
American.
make sense, yeah.
You can't tell me that half the internet isn't, or almost all of the internet isn't Americanized when literally the 10 out of the 10 top social media sites are American. Come on,
No,
Twitter,
you're
Facebook,
right.
Reddit, whatever, everything Hollywood.
I recede my point. You're right.
Yeah.
You guys are actually totally right now that I'm thinking about it.
So I was wondering if that impacts. I don't even know what a moral code is really, but I was wondering if that impacts the way you live day to day. Since you're most you said that you're living in like an American kind of mind frame or lifestyle. Since you're always on the internet.
Yeah, but that's like it's hard to explain it because this is all I really know. I can't like compare it to anything.
Yeah. No, I get that.
He lives by the code of
I also don't know
Hammurabi.
what Jackson's even asking.
Yeah.
He understands what I'm saying. He just says he can't quantify it because he doesn't have any kind of.
I think he's
thing to
asking
compare
that
it to.
you don't necessarily feel some sort of patriotism towards Norway or allegiance to Europe or America or any specific country or aligned with their values. I assume.
Yeah, I
Albano.
just don't like
That's
America.
how I feel.
Yeah, like America either.
All right, man. Fine. I see how it is. Fuck.
I'm just gonna say,
I
fuck
bring
it.
you on our podcast. I extend a diplomatic invitation, and this is how you treat me.
I mean, it's kind of
Tensions are rising.
it's kind of deserved. It's kind of this. Honestly, I think it's earned.
Oh yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
no, we fuck some stuff up. I'll
Every
tell you
time, every time I go online, like it's either like America's just burning to the fucking ground. Like it's always America.
that. Well,
It's
hey,
taking everyone
no,
down with it, though. At least on the internet.
America's not burning down to the ground. We're just trying to win at everything. For example, Florida is now becoming the world epicenter for COVID. So we're just trying to
that's a
take the
myth.
championship in everything.
That's not.
That's a myth.
How is
It's
that
not a myth at all.
Why are you guys pulling shit out of your asses? That's the most uninformed. Are you looking at statistics from like 5 months ago? You guys are doing fine
More
compared
like
to
5
every
minutes
other
ago.
place.
We have 15,000 cases a day in Florida.
Yeah, New York is doing worse. How about that? What about China? What about India? You guys are so self-flagellating. Why are you doing this cringe?
China, they have 0 new
thing
cases. What do you mean?
that's- Exactly right. China has 0 cases. I wonder why. You
No
guys are
cases.
doing this cringe thing where everyone's like, "Oh, we're uniquely evil. We're uniquely bad. Oh, we're so terrible. Look at those. Look at that couple at the beach. They're so evil. Grandma killers." Just get over it.
Killers.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I'll get over people dying of an infectious disease. You're right.
How many
you're
people
being
died
very
yesterday,
selfish,
Andrew?
Andrew.
Do you know the number? You don't.
Do you know their names, Andrew?
Do you know anything
Yeah,
besides
more
Florida
than one.
bad?
That's. You just literally said New York bad.
Do you know the number? Okay, so how many people died though?
Yeah,
Couple thousand.
couple thousand. And
Yesterday?
even
Couple
then, if they
thousand
don't
died
die,
in
they're still
Florida?
getting. Even
In
then, if they don't
general.
die, what does it matter if they die or not? They're still getting sick with a disease, and it causes medical issues for those people who don't die.
Kind of matters if you die.
Clogs up the medical system, too.
Death is kind of important.
So if you get sick and you don't die, does the illness not at all matter? If you had like the
It
worst
sounds like
case
you're
of
the one
influenza,
arguing that death doesn't matter anyway, Kaya.
Yeah.
Like,
No, I'm mad.
there's still
No, I'm arguing that it's a different thing where if 1,000 school children who are all 7 years old get the virus versus 1,000 70-year-olds. That is a big difference. The virus is
I
basically.
don't understand your point at all because it's not just
Yeah, I
only
don't-
old people getting the disease;
The
it's
median
people of all
there,
ages.
there might be
Right.
a difference, but those are still both bad. I
The
don't.
median is in the 30s right now for Florida on people who are getting
Yeah.
COVID.
The death?
And also, children
death, the
die of
median
this
of 30?
disease and have.
Who cares about the death, Kyle? Why do you keep
What do you
bringing
mean?
that
Who
up?
cares
It's
about how
talking
many
who's
people
getting
die?
it.
Who cares? Oh.
Is that what you're telling me? It doesn't matter who's dying. It matters how many people are get the sickness.
They both
It
matter, Kyle.
absolutely matters
It
how many people
absolutely
get the
matters.
sickness in general. They don't have to die for it to be important. The common cold's extremely important. People usually don't die from it.
Yeah, but you're just saying a lot of people got sick. Okay, it matters who got sick. Do you know that? Who? What age
Yes, and the
group?
median age is in the 30s on the people that are getting sick.
Okay, 30s is not that dangerous. It's like plus 40 or 50. If you're a child, this virus is actually less deadly than the common flu. If you're not a child, then it starts getting dangerous, and then even then, it's peaks at like 70. So yeah, it is important. The age of the people who are getting sick, it matters.
What is your point? Can we bring it back? What are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say that when
I
you
was
say,
just gonna bring up that.
oh, 15,000 new cases. Okay, are those children? Are those old people? It's like when
And then what?
and are the like how to explain this? Charlie,
No, that was
15,000
I mean,
new cases doesn't mean 15,000 cases doesn't mean 15,000 deaths. Do you understand that?
No one said that. Nobody
It kind of
here said
matters
that.
what the
that at all.
demographics
But
are
doesn't
here.
50,000 cases mean that more people are going to get infected because the more spread, the more
Yeah.
it affects? I mean,
Kaya,
Yeah.
yes, the flu is terrible. Spanish flu, which was regular influenza, killed more people than World War II back when it came out. Yes, there are other diseases that are terrible, but COVID is extremely highly infectious. That's the big scare with it. It just keeps spreading and moving and growing.
And has a very low death rate unless you're literally 70 years old. You know that the rest of
So
Europe
let's
is laughing at
completely
you guys?
ignore
I
it.
was out
You're right.
today, walking along the beach, walking along the shore. I sat at a restaurant. No one's wearing masks. I walked into a restaurant with my mask because I wear them. I don't mind wearing a mask. It's kind of annoying and tedious, but I wear it out of common courtesy to
What a
like
hero.
older folks who walk past me. But the waiter literally kind of smirked at me like, you don't need a mask here.
Would you go to Disneyland right now?
That makes it fine then. The scientists working at that restaurant means that it's fine.
They're diseaseologists in the back
No, you guys
kitchen.
are right. Everyone's dying. There's millions of bodies in the streets. You know, the virus is
Would
like
you go to
100%
Disneyland
death
right
rate.
now, Kaya? Would you go
Would
to
you
Disneyland?
criticize the protests, Andrew? The racial protests where like 100,000 people got together, shoulder to shoulder, shouting and
What does
spitting
that have to
slogans.
do with this at all?
You guys are so self-flagellating in America. You just all you want to do is say, "Florida man bad. Look at us Floridians. We're terrible."
I didn't even
When
specify
you're not
Florida. I
doing
said
that
America's
bad,
bad.
why are you guys hitting yourself? Why are you guys just punishing yourself so bad when you're kind of doing okay?
We're doing okay. Like 15,000 new cases a day is okay.
Yeah, we have people protesting in the streets because they want gyms open and to get haircuts, and they're not wearing masks.
Yeah, I was
Like,
gonna
we're
say,
not
like,
doing
the-
okay at all.
It's in America.
Yeah,
I think it's
okay.
the only country I've seen people literally out in the streets protesting that they don't want to wear the mask or they want to break the quarantine because it hurts my freedom.
But that's okay.
Our,
because that
our
waiter said
president
it's fine.
held a giant fucking rally of thousands of people and had absolutely no mandates on personal protection or space. Like,
Okay,
we're
what
not
about the
doing
other
okay.
protest, Andrew?
They
You know
wore
which one?
masks and they tried to distance for a lot of them.
A lot of them did not wear masks, and masks are magic. They
And even then, that's an
they
American
reduce-
protest. You're proving my point that America sucks. What are you talking about?
Okay, I'm just saying that a lot of you guys seem to think that those protests made you immune to the virus somehow. That those don't matter.
Where is
all
this
you-
coming from?
You guys don't see the
What science fiction is
You
that?
guys didn't
Where are we
see those
going?
headlines about how the Black Lives Matter protests reduced the rate of infections? This is an actual headline.
You read way too much news and take it as fact, dude. You really do. You're
No.
quoting headlines like everyone believes them.
No,
good
okay.
God.
You're blaming
That's
me
the
for
first I've
headlines
heard of
somebody
that.
else wrote and I'm making fun of them?
Oh,
Well, you're
that's.
using it in
I
an
thought you were
argument with
earnestly
us.
saying that. I didn't know you were joking. Okay.
It's hard to know where it's going. 'Cause on one hand, you're arguing the coronavirus isn't a big deal and 15,000 cases a day is fine. And then on the other hand, you're saying that now we're saying
No,
we're immune to it.
I'm
'cause
not
of the
saying
protests.
it's fine. I'm just saying you guys make it out to
did
be
say
as
that.
if you are uniquely bad or uniquely incompetent, which you are not. Okay.
I mean, it's relative.
you guys
They've
are
only-
making it
they've
out
only
to
got
be-
themselves to look at the.
You're also making it out to be as if America is the center of the world and look at us, we're terrible. Meanwhile, the rest of the planet is opening up and our cases aren't any less than your guys' are. We're just testing less and people really don't
Yes,
give
it
a
is
fuck.
exactly less.
Literally less.
We test
I-
less.
America has
Sizable
superseded
margin.
the entire world in infection
but
rate.
Is that like
What,
per capita or is it just
China?
like total?
China has 0 cases. You believe that? You cite cases like it really matters. China has 0 cases. India has 0 cases. Turkmenistan has 0 cases. So all of those
Okay,
places
so
are doing
I
better
would
than
say
you
What
that
does
guys.
that change about our cases?
okay,
What
like-
does that change?
There's one thing though, like America is like, yeah, they're bad at like preventing spread, but when I like just take Spain for example, Spanish people right now, they don't care about Corona doesn't exist unless their neighbor is sick. Like they just don't give a shit. When they were just getting hit by it and people were like choking to death in the hospitals, hundreds a night, the police officers. I went through the I think it's called the boarding pass check before the security control, and the guy was there was like, hey, you gotta keep 1 meter, blah blah blah, and all this stuff. And I looked to my left, and there's like 4 police officers or like security guards, I guess you could call them, like stacked on each other. They were like going hand in hand basically over there. And I look at them and then I look at him and it's like, really, dude? Like, do you guys actually care? And then you have the security guards who's touching the insides of people's bags, coughing into his hand, like literally into his hand in the
Yeah.
glove. And then it's like, oh, we found a little bottle of water in your back. I'm gonna take everything out and touch everything inside. Like,
it's like
Europe is
those-
pretty fucking bad too. Like it's not
like
just
those
America,
videos
but
you
yeah.
see of someone. This literally, again, this only happens in America. Some Karen will go up to a guy who's not wearing a mask and start screeching at him because he's not wearing a mask. And you're putting everyone in danger. Meanwhile, she's getting within an inch of his face and screaming at him without her mask because she had to pull it down to scream at him. This is an American thing. The rest of the planet has moved on, you guys. We beat this shit. You guys need to get over the politics of this shit. Florida isn't uniquely evil. You guys really just incredibly politicize this. Germany is open right now for travel from like a dozen fucking countries, and inside of Europe, travel is open. We're fine. Our restaurants are jam-packed. People aren't getting sick. They're not dying on the streets.
People just got a second wave in Spain.
It's literally just you guys acting as if this is some super space AIDS from space, from that just can phase through walls, eats through metal, and kills everyone. Unless you're at a protest for racial injustice, then you're immune.
So what you're saying is it's worse. You're saying it's worse in America, which is what Andrew and Charlie were kind of arguing.
No, you guys pretend that it's worse in your places when it isn't.
What are you talking about, Kaya? It's literally like 3 times more cases here. What are you even talking about?
You do 3 times more testing
Charlie, so
then.
Look at how good it is in Germany, Charlie. There's nothing to be afraid of. God, you guys are dumb. What are you talking about?
I don't even know who's like arguing for what here. I'm just like trying to get a hold of like I gave up. I think I gave up at this point.
Everyone has given up.
I have no idea what this is going.
See, this is the kind of misinformation. Zandy says Kai is acting like deaths aren't still rising. They aren't. They're falling. Do you guys still look at fucking death rates from 5 months ago?
No, it's not. No, they're not falling. Oh my god. Kaya, you look at your own country's statistics and then plant that on everything else as it's indicative of how everyone else is handling it.
First of all, my country's death rates better be falling. I pay like a kidney and a half in health taxes, okay? They better be providing my kidneys for me. Let's Google this.
Oh, that sounds great. I'd love to see how this goes. Oh, what do you know? It turns out there is like 3 million cases in America.
3 million, yes, Charlie. So is this what you guys believe, that there's 3 million deaths right now?
Germany has 200,000 active cases right now.
What is wrong with you? When I say how many cases, you're like, oh, so 3 million deaths, Charlie. Is that dumb?
You literally, that was your number. I love how this is a 4-on-1 or 3-on-1 pylon. And here's the graph. Does this look rising to you? Does that death rate look rising to you, Charlie?
Oh yeah, there's definitely 3 million people dead in Germany right now.
Look at those new cases. I'd love to see that graph.
The death rate, Charlie. How many people are actually dying from this? Does it look rising to you? There's a source.
We're talking about cases. We're talking about cases, Kaya. Cases.
Okay, I'm talking about the things that matter, Charlie. It doesn't matter how many people get cancer. It matters how many people actually die from it.
Oh, it doesn't matter how many people
actually,
have cancer.
You know, there's a funny thing about illness, Kaya. It's called symptoms. It's where if you're sick, you might not be able to work or take care of your children or your family, and that's kind of important to countries and people and economies.
Only death, Andrew. Death is the only symptom that matters.
Doesn't matter if you infect your neighbor
death doesn't
and like
matter.
your employer.
Yeah, and
just cases.
And then and Albino's got a great point. If it spreads to your neighbor whose immune system isn't as good, that could result in a new death or new complications. It's almost like death isn't the only factor of disease.
Yeah, but here's the thing: the first 2 weeks of incubation, you're asymptomatic. You don't know you have the thing until like maybe 2 weeks.
So maybe don't attend protests. Don't scream at your neighbor if you see him at the store. Don't try to film him with just getting in his face trying to get him canceled. It seems fairly easy not to.
And that's part of my point. You're talking about social distancing, and America's really bad at it. That was part of my point. That was a lot of my point.
And yet your death rate is going down in general. Again. You guys are such apocalyptic babies, ripping your hairs out, setting yourselves on fire. You're not dying. This isn't Mad Max. Stop pretending like you're in Mad Max realm.
No one engage. I'll be no.
Everyone hold.
I have no idea how the chat can even like stand that kind of just general fucking nonsense.
Stop.
No.
Stop. All right.
Albino, thank you so much for coming on, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh, it's cool. It's been fun. It's been a ride.
Before we wrap up for the day, I want to ask you though. It's been a while since we've asked the jerk off question, so I do want to ask: do you have any wild and wacky masturbation stories? What's the weirdest thing you've done to your penis?
The weirdest thing I've done to my penis. Well, my ex convinced me to try sounding.
Oh God!
Fuck me!
Your ex convinced you?
No.
Yeah.
That is a weird
good.
woman.
You're going to like it, they said. But yeah, that's how you put something inside of like
No. I mean, how did she convince you? What did she say?
No, it was just like if you haven't tried something, why not try it? Like that's the you don't know if you're not gonna like it.
That's all it took.
Yeah.
Did you tell her, okay, I'll do it if you put this dildo up your nostrils?
No, I was like, sure, let's go.
Did you like
And
it?
how
You
did
seen
it-
that picture
how
on
did
the
it
internet? It
feel?
was like, let's fucking go, like that. That's it.
So wait,
So
you
wh-
did it and just popped it out and went, haha, that was fun?
I was like,
Well-
that's not for me.
You must have a really big urethra, man. Like actually, like a huge urethra, because
What?
that shit can permanently damage you.
Can it?
What
No,
did you-
if they use
Yeah.
like the rods that are like they have basically no friction, then
Oh, you bought special tools for it.
yeah, of course. I want to put like a pencil
Okay.
into my dick.
Oh god, that would scare the fucking piss out of me, just losing it
How
inside
thick
there.
is it?
Ugh.
Lose, you don't put the entire thing in, dude. What the fuck?
Yeah, but what if your hand slips and you're like, oops?
Well, it's
Oh,
not
just
slides
slide
all the
over
way
the
down.
top.
It
Wrong
drops
with
down
that.
there
My
like you
fucking
dropped a pipe down a hole.
Yeah, hang on, Albino, how thick are the tools and how long? Like what dimensions are we talking about?
I don't know the measurements. They aren't very like they're not the size of a pencil. They're like there's different sizes too. You can just like choose
Q-tip?
what you want. Like how big?
A Q-tip maybe?
Well, a Q-tip, the tip of the Q-tip or the rod of the Q-tip?
Both, I guess. I don't know. You tell me.
They're not
You
the
had
same
it in your
size.
dick.
I guess the rod of a toothpick. Oh, Q-tips.
Q-tip.
There we go. Brain
Yeah,
damage.
Q-tip. Yeah,
Like, the
toothpick would not be very pleasant.
Toothpick.
No, that'd be awful. The things you clean your ear with, right?
yeah. The rod of that.
Did you do this medically? Because usually Q-tips aren't used for like that kind of stuff for pleasure.
No, he's saying
No,
that's,
I'm saying
he's
that's
how
like
thick
the
that was.
size of it. He was asking for the size.
Oh,
I didn't put a
oh,
Q-tip
I
in.
got
That
confused. I'm
would be painful as fuck.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's the first time anyone on this show has ever said that they've been sounded. So that's a
No,
first.
that's not true. Charlie had a camera up his dick or something.
Oh well,
That's a cystoscopy.
that wasn't for enjoyment.
That's
though.
that's for medical
Still
reasons.
sounding.
We should have like a running tally of like firsts for penis stuff that our guests have done.
I mean, that's definitely a first. Yeah.
Yeah, Albino, congratulations! You are the first sounder on our show. If you want,
I am
Have
honored.
you done it since?
No, I just it was not for me. That's why I
Are you
tried it.
still together?
I don't know why people are like, oh, did it not take you more than that? Try it. It's like, dude, you won't know. You guys should try it. Maybe you'll like
No.
it.
No, I'm not trying.
No.
I've had a urethral swab and hated it.
But those hurt.
So-
I've had that too.
Are you,
Yeah, those
Albino, are you
fucking
guys still together? Did it make your bond stronger or?
I made it's my ex for a reason.
Hmm.
Ex,
Okay.
not girlfriend. So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. So this was the breakup reason? Did you squeeze your dick and drip some blood on the...
Yeah, she kind of just like
Table,
jammed the
so
entire
this
thing in
is-
and hurt me really bad. So I was like, no, I'm leaving.
ugh. Did you sound her back? Like, was it mutual?
Yeah. Did you return the favor? Did you stick it in her piss hole?
No,
Okay.
didn't get the opportunity.
Well, I'm glad we got to the bottom of this love story.
Yeah.
And on that note, I think we should wrap it up here. That's a good answer, though, Albino. I appreciate.
Where can
the
people
honesty.
go, Albino,
Anytime.
to find you and your Fortnite videos?
On youtube.com. Do I have a custom? I don't remember my custom URL. Just search for Albino. You'll find it.
I'll put the link in the description anyway.
Yeah,
you
go
can
for
go
it.
down below and find his channel. Yeah, that's everything. Thank you for listening to this week's episode. We got a Patreon, patreon.com/theofficialpodcast for bonus episodes, as well as a lot of cool stuff over there. Oh, Kai, we've got merchandise now, right? Well, new merch. I should say.
Official.man/
So that'll be on screen.
merch. Yeah, we got some new merchandise. The edible humans that we talked about 2 weeks ago. And also somebody asked on Reddit, yes, we do own official.man. It's not a troll trying to make us look bad.
It's just Kaya making us look bad, believe it or not.
It's a fun fan fiction I found online, and it's our name substituted. I'm not
Yeah,
apologizing
fun.
for it. I think it's funny. Official.man/merch. Go there. And patreon.com/theofficialpodcast if you want to listen to almost 60 bonus episodes.
Bonus episodes, as well as discount on merchandise and stuff like that. You go over and have a
Patreon
look and
server.
you'll find some cool stuff, I'm sure.
Everything.
All right, thank you everyone for joining us,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Talking about this
What a
before the
topic,
show
Jackson.
started. I claim it as my own now. So what happened? Her name was Ghislaine,
Maxwell,
right?
yeah.
That's her name.
Well,
Just
I also haven't read anything
Maxwell, yeah.
besides that she got arrested and presumably, of course, the joke started. I went on Twitter and asked people, like, how soon do you think it'll be until she kills herself, supposedly, with 2 gunshots in the back of the head? Let me see. Let's look up an article on how exactly she got arrested. Because this bitch was on the run
I
for
feel like it's
literally
going to be
months.
a miracle. It's going to be a miracle if they're able to pull off the fake not fake suicide. It was a real death, but like it's a fake suicide. If they pull off the fake suicide again with the second person attached to the case, you're gonna have to get creative here.
I don't know if this was accurate or not, but I read on Twitter they're putting her in the same prison Jeffrey Epstein died in.
Do you think? Imagine how scared she is.
His blood's probably still in that cell.
His corpse is just still hanging from the rafters.
Is that just a meat grinder prison or something that they toss these guys in to make Soylent Green out of them? I mean, what really bothers me is that Jeffrey Epstein has like 10 other associates still on the run. She was one of them. She's been on the run for months. When did Jeffrey Epstein kill himself? That was like, wasn't that last year, basically? That was a while ago.
Definitely last year.
Yeah. And this bitch, for all this time, has been on the run from every intelligence organization on the planet, supposedly, but you'd think that every intelligence organization on the planet would could at least locate one fucking person out of those people if they were really trying and if they weren't in cahoots, which is, honestly, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but it's really getting suspicious just how little all of the intelligence organizations and how little law enforcement gave a fuck. We were kind of just told, the videos didn't work and the guards fell asleep and, we just looked the other way and we were trying to swat a fly in the control room and we didn't look at the screens for a second, and then when we looked back, who's dead? Whoops.
It was a perfect storm.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Oh well, there's nothing to see here. Don't worry about it. He hung himself with, a rope made out of toilet paper or something. And then for months and months, all of his allies have been on the run, and I've told you about this before, right? How envious I was that somehow these people have the ability to vanish off the face of the planet, with all facial recognition data these days, with everyone has a smartphone where even if you don't have a Facebook account, Facebook has an account of you and knows everything about you. How the fuck did these guys manage to, it's like, I read these articles that's saying Interpol is looking for Jeffrey Epstein's friend, but they cannot locate him. He does not even have an email address, so they cannot serve him an arrest warrant. How? How does this guy not have a passport, a citizenship, an address, anything? How is he unfindable to you? No, you're bullshitting us at that point.
The world's big, though.
I think about
Where was she?
Come on.
Yeah, I think about that too. Like, let's say, like, out of nowhere, they just go to like bumblefuck nowhere in the middle of goddamn nowhere, start their own little garden and little farm. Like, how are you gonna find them? Like, what tools are you gonna use to find them in this fucking meth
Like an
shack?
Amish community.
Jackson.
Yeah, exactly.
If they live there, there's no technology to track them.
Jackson, I mean, just think about that. Even then, don't you have fucking satellite imagery or something? Don't even Amish people still take car rides. They have these little loopholes where they themselves can't drive the car, but they can be passengers. They still go out into the city. They would still be visible. I mean, just think about the fact that El Chapo was richer than God and had a stranglehold on an entire country, and the US still managed to extradite him like a little bitch and put him in prison and keep him alive. You can do that, but not find this bitch for 6 months?
He was still running like a massive organization. Like, he had a lot of point of reference. Yeah, but not this woman. They found Epstein. They got him.
After like 3 decades, Jackson. After he's posed with the fucking Prince Andrew, it literally.
He wasn't being looked. He wasn't being like searched for then. Or under investigation then.
No, he was.
I thought that was only fairly recent.
No, Jackson, this has been a decade-long open secret in Hollywood that this guy arranges fucking pedophilia for rich people. And he's been investigated for this shit before he's even been arrested before.
They're not tracking him. Bryan Singer is a well-known open secret about, like, having naked kid pool parties or something? What the fuck does he do?
That's my point. Could you find Bryan Singer right now, Charlie? Could you?
Yeah, just look at like some kind of Hollywood middle school. Probably find him near the dumpster.
I go to the nearest Smash tournaments. Whoa, teaser for the next topic. Hang on, okay, let's finish this one though. Throughout the night, we'll take you live to South Dakota. Did they just transcribe the fucking... Jeez, this is long. Hang on, let me look up a better article real quick. Ghislaine Maxwell and Kevin Spacey pictured posing on Buckingham Palace's thrones. on private tour hosted by Prince Andrew. I don't care. Detail the arrest. By the way, I don't like.
Wait, so where did they find her? Was she just at home? Did they even look at her? Like,
she didn't even leave the house.
Yeah. I mean, where would she go? To the Sahara Desert? I'm confused as to where she actually.
she
would have to buy plane tickets to go overseas.
So
or anything
that's
like
the
that.
thing.
So that would be traceable.
That's another thing. Just until 2 weeks ago, the rumor was that she was hiding in a loft in Paris. Well-run jail local.
Where did this rumor come from?
I don't know, news sources, the same fucking news sources that somehow are incapable of doing actual journalism to find a bitch. What happened to that, by the way? Investigative journalism. Some mafia in Panama blows up one bitch in a car bomb and all of a sudden they all tuck their tails. Ghislaine Maxwell, the alleged accomplice of Jeffrey Epstein, is being detained at a New Hampshire jail where she's likely separated from other inmates and under constant surveillance, local lawyers say. Yeah, same kind of surveillance that Epstein was under, I'm sure. Separated. Nice.
Yeah, fuck that. If I was her, I'd want to be with every other prisoner possible so that they don't see me getting killed.
It's like, I'm good. I want to be in general population. I want to be in Gen Pop and have plenty of witnesses around just in case. I don't trust you cocksuckers. A source familiar with Maxwell's case said she's being held at the Merrimack County Jail, a medium security facility 20 miles from the luxurious home where she was arrested Thursday. 20 miles from the luxurious home where she was arrested Thursday. This bitch was living in a luxurious mansion. She wasn't in the middle of the Sahara Desert or at some deserted island or hiding in a cave like Saddam was, okay? She was yucking it up in her mansion for all these months. This child sex trafficker.
And it's probably a good tactic, like going to the, right under their nose. Oh, there's no way she's just hiding out in a mansion. She's clearly going to be somewhere else. We won't even bother checking.
From an investigative point, maybe they let her stay out and they were tracking her movements to see if she would meet up with anyone, and then they'd arrest them as well or something.
You've been watching a lot of movies recently.
Yeah. Except, the FBI and just law enforcement apparently is not that smart. This bitch could have shut up at school and they all would have went like, oh, well, kind of, we had a red flag on her, but we didn't expect death.
We actually watched her leave her house and go to the school.
And grab the gun.
We figured she was just going to pick up more children to pimp, but we didn't know she was going to shoot them. She's expected...
What were we
I'd be
supposed
pretty
to do?
surprised if she
Intervene?
shut up for school, to be honest. That'd be pretty out of left field for her.
She's expected to be transferred to New York for a court appearance next week. Epstein was awaiting trial on federal charges trafficking minors when he was found hanged in a New York City jail in August. So, yeah, coincidence. Is there no other place that can send this bitch other than the same exact procedures that failed the first case?
No, because it can't fail twice. It's impossible.
Given what happened...
Yeah? I was just going to say, that was Epstein's death was almost a full year ago.
Jesus.
Coming up to his anniversary of his demise. It feels like it was yesterday. That's crazy.
Yeah, because the jokes never stopped. People want answers. Given what happened to Epstein and the special attention to this case, I would imagine there are orders from pretty high up to keep a close eye on her. Yeah, I bet, said Andrew Winters. And
yeah, watch her if she commits suicide.
Yeah. Maxwell is likely in her own holding cell where she can be observed at all times, said Ted Lothstein, another Hampshire criminal defense lawyer. They're going to have her on the tightest security imaginable. Just a reminder that Epstein was on suicide watch. Jail attendant directed requests for comments to a spokeswoman, yada yada. The jail is a well-run and low-key facility. Vastly better jail than where she will be sent to New York City. Yeah, I bet. It's basically a suicide booth from Futurama when she sets foot into New York City jail. All right. Well, that's a gist of it, I guess. There isn't really a whole lot more info here.
So there's no real... So was she actually involved in the day-to-day pedophilia of Epstein's organization, or was she just a secretary or something?
No, she's the one who supplied the children.
Oh, okay. So that's not a secretary.
No, she was a pretty high up, his right hand woman. Let's say. Well, fuck you, Ghislaine. I don't know. I don't even want her to kill herself. I want this bitch to speak in court, but we all know that's not going to happen. I wish she would just name people.
You know what? Actually, let's make a podcast bet. Do any of us want to go against the grain and say she will make it to court to testify? Is anyone brave enough to take that
Are we
stand?
betting? Are we?
I'll do it.
Yeah, I think we should wager. Let's have a wager.
I'll do
Well,
it.
what
I'm
do you
going
mean
to
by-
predict that she goes up on stand and testifies, but just before she testifies, she explodes or something. something goofy like that.
She's assassinated with uranium or something. So
Yeah,
I think
she combusts.
so. I think least likely, but still likely, is she does somehow end up dead. Whoops. Or most likely,
She
I
slipped
think
over
she
in the
will
shower.
go to trial. She will testify, but she'll not actually say anything. It will be a mock trial. She won't actually name drop any of the people that she sold little children to, or that she helped Epstein sell little children to. So there won't be anything
And
useful.
then she'll get 6 months house arrest or something like that. Like she'll get a
Possibly.
plea deal.
Yeah, it may be like, 10 years with probation or some shit. And she'll get off either scot-free or even if she gets life in prison, I think this woman has been involved enough to know that it's in her best interest to not piss off the powers that she's been meddling with and working with. So she'll keep her mouth shut for the safety of everyone else in her life, possibly. I don't know if she has family, but yeah, and her own safety.
Yeah, I don't think it's ever even going to get that far. I'm pretty sure we're going to see like a repeat of last time. Like even if like the people that killed Epstein were just like, yeah, we absolutely murdered him, and they started laughing about it on a Twitch live stream, like what are you going to do? Like what's the next course of action?
So that's
For the public?
Yeah, like just they did a public live stream like, yep, we killed Epstein. Now
What are you going to do about it, pussy?
So
Yeah,
that's the
like,
fucked
what-
up part,
then
right?
what?
We all joke, like we all make the Epstein didn't kill himself joke. It's such a blasé joke now that we could, Ricky Gervais made the joke in the, I don't know if it was the Oscars or the Golden Globes or whatever, but we all joke around, but deep in our hearts, we do know that something is fucking fishy here, man. And they're about to get away with it yet
I
again.
don't think he killed himself
And they can.
at all. I said I don't think he killed himself at
I
all.
don't think anybody actually thinks he killed himself.
No, that's what I
It
mean.
started from a joke, but I think the joke is born in truth.
Yeah, it's a meme. Okay, I should have used the word meme. It's a meme, and we joke around about it. But in our hearts, we know something is wrong here. And even though we all know this, they're just gonna get away with it. No one's gonna keep looking into this fucking case. No journalist seems to give a fuck. No, I mean, Eric Weinstein makes a great
It's
case
just
for
a
this. It's
shame.
like, why is there not a single journalist calling the CIA or the FBI, asking for a statement, asking, hey, did you ever work with Epstein? Has he ever worked for you? Even something like no comment would do wonders. Even that would say a lot. They don't even do that, though. No one's asking.
Yeah, honestly, I think as much as Twitter sucks, I actually think Twitter does the most investigation of anything ever. Like, the actual people will investigate the fuck out of everything, more so than the actual official channels do. Like,
Yeah, but whoa. Then we get like the Boston bombing kind of shit
No,
where
like-
they over-investigate.
no. I'm talking about, like, getting answers out of people.
Yeah,
Not,
yeah.
like, just randomly Reddit detective some kind of grainy footage from a camera.
That still happens. I mean, Twitter is like 99% complete disinformation, obscure, intentional lying. But I understand what you mean, and that's how I feel too. That's one of the primary reasons I do use Twitter, because where are you going to get your news from these days, right? Are you going to go to Fox, to CNN? They all lie. So what you have to do is go on Twitter and get your news from, first-hand sources. Instead of reading a news article about a shooting, you can literally go on Twitter and find a video that somebody took while they were getting shot or something. You can get that first-hand experience, and then you can dig down, literally get the granular detail of what the fuck happens. But of course it's difficult to dig through, but the socialized news, it is very useful. It's immediate, it's real time, it's unfiltered. That has its upsides and downsides, and the downsides, it's that the overwhelming majority of the time it is all just complete lies. Someone takes a 10-second clip out of context, and all of a sudden they're a murderer. You watch the rest of the 5 seconds, and all of a sudden he's just petting puppies or something. It's a double-edged sword.
We talk about a lot of things on this podcast, but there's something that I need to make sure that we all talk about right now. Because if you haven't heard about Anchor, then you need to know about the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. First of all, it's free. Beyond that, there's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and many other platforms. You can make money for your podcast with no minimum listenership, and it's got everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. If you have something super special to talk about and you want people to hear it so they know it's super special, you're going to want to use Anchor. It's the best way to do it.
But what the fuck is Twitter gonna do about Epstein or Maxwell in this case?
Yeah, there's not too much they can do. Maybe tweet at her and see if she responds, I guess. That'd be like the extent of that power.
She doesn't have a Twitter. They're smart. They don't even have
No,
email addresses.
She does. She's
She
not
does?
smart at all of us then.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's the smartest thing. Fuck me. I wish I had the wherewithal to delete all my social media. Okay, you guys want to switch over to the Smash drama, Charlie? Jackson?
Sure.
I think you guys know more about it than I do.
Yeah, Jackson and I were talking about it as shit was developing. So this week has been like a crazy fucking week for Smash Brothers. All of like the top players and top personalities in the Smash community all just got outed for actual heinous shit. A couple of them in like their statements about the issue just outright admitted to like statutory rape in detail in writing, which is obviously a fucking crime. So it's been crazy. Like, all the claims are mainly based in pedophilia, where the top players were engaging with children and shit. It's,
What do you mean they
actually really-
admitted to it
to
in...
clarify.
What do you mean they admitted to it in
Little-
detail? Did you just
So-
write like 50 Shades of Grey about a 14-year-old?
more or less. Like, one of the statements from one of the guys, Kitaru, was detailing how he went to a party with a 16-year-old girl, and they were drinking, and she kept coming on to him, and he's like, I know I shouldn't do this, but I couldn't help myself. And then he talks about how they went into the pool and she put his dick inside of her and she's 16. And he's like, damn, this is wrong, but I can't stop. And that's
Like
literally-
if you had sought legal advice at any point during these accusations, that would be the last thing your lawyer would suggest doing.
Yeah,
Like, that is a written confession.
Is immediately confess is the worst idea you can do, if innocent or not. If somebody, so pro tip to all the teens listening, one day people are going to accuse you of some shit. Don't just immediately bow down, throw yourself on the ground and apologize and say, yeah, I did it. It's a bad idea.
It doesn't do anything for your case either. It's not like they're going to accept your apology, especially Twitter.
Yeah, that too. I mean,
well, I mean, it's not like any apology for these kind of actions should be forgiven. Like, it's actual really terrible shit.
No, this was a 30-year-old man banging a 16-year-old. That's
well, my problem is,
it's statutory rape.
I mean, I don't care about these. How old was he, first of all?
30.
Oh, okay, yeah, that is extra creepy.
Yeah,
Holy
that's
shit.
what I mean. If it was like a 18-year-old or a 19-year-old, which is what I assumed most Smash players would be, I'd be like, okay, well.
Yeah, I was about to
it's a
do the
pretty small
whole,
age
you know,
gap,
if he's 18, she's 16, that's not pedophilia, but if he's 30, that's kind of wrong.
Yeah,
So-
it's just wrong.
Well,
No,
it doesn't stop there, though. Like, a lot of them would write down actual crimes in their defense. Like, another guy was accused of fucking a 15-year-old when he was, like, mid-20s or something. he's like, I didn't
Who
know
was
she was.
that?
Remember the auntie one?
Oh, Auntie.
Yeah.
the fuck
So
is
he
Auntie?
was talking about how she another top player.
There's been so many of them. It's
I know.
been so
It's-
hard to
It's been
remember who's
so
who.
much,
But
and
so-
then it was talking about like how the girl lied about her age on Tinder, met up with Auntie, and they fucked in a hotel room. And he said that she maintained that she was 18 the whole time. The problem is though, he admitted to fucking her, and she was 15. He's in Florida, where it has a God, what's the clause? You
It's
can't.
like a misbelief of age that
Yeah,
doesn't.
that's right.
That doesn't mean anything basically to a court. Like even if you think that they're 18, it doesn't matter. You still fucked a 15-year-old.
That's
in the
fair.
eyes of
I
the
think
court.
that's-
There are some states.
I think every state should have that
what?
law.
If someone lies to you,
No, but Jackson, if you've ever watched any To Catch a Predator, they always use that defense. They always go, "Oh, I thought she was 16, sir.
But yeah.
She told me she was 18." And then you look at the chat logs, and she's like, "I'm 12. My parents aren't home." But all the people, they always lie and say that the girl claimed she was 18. And I totally thought that this girl who's 4 feet tall was 18. Sure. So I think you should
mean, yeah,
definitely have a clause in the court system to immediately toss out that excuse. You want to look, if you're having sex with a girl who's, where you're not entirely sure if she's underage or not, just ID her. Okay, at that point,
That's exactly what I said.
not to mention,
That's
if you
literally
can't
what I
be
said.
sure, you probably shouldn't be having sex with her in the first place. But if you can't help it that much, ID the bitch.
I actually said that exact thing to Jackson. I said she just ID them. Yeah, just like the bouncer at the club, man. It's been wild. It has been absolutely fucking wild.
So do they
Literally,
all
like all
just-
of the top players and personalities.
that's a
One
good
of
point
our-
from Semi. What about
yeah.
fake IDs?
Yeah, one of our patrons just asked, what about
What
fake
then?
IDs? What now? Girls are gonna use fake IDs to get into your pants?
I mean,
That's kind of...
they could.
I
You have to
guess,
carry
but-
around a scanner as well. You have to have the counterplay.
Yeah, have a third party witness
How many? Yeah,
who
notarized.
can type up their ID. Yeah.
A fucking fingerprint scanner like the cops have to make sure you don't have any arrest warrants or something.
If you're going to that level of protecting yourself, you should just get them to sign a document stating in writing that they're claiming they're 18 or whatever.
Yeah. Here's my sexual contract.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's just way too many loopholes and exploits and things. It's too convoluted, man. Like I said, if you think she might be too young, just act as if she is too young and move on. Just play it safe.
I read a story about I think it was a 20-year-old who hooked up with a 17-year-old through like some dating app, Hot or Not, I think it was. This was a few years ago, Hot or Not, and they had sex. They met up and had sex and everything. Then the police went to her house and found out that she was 14, and now this 19 or 20-year-old, I don't remember how old he was, 19 or 20 though, he served 6 months in jail, and now he's on the sex offender list for like 25 years and isn't able to use a computer or anything. I think that's pretty fucking extreme for fucking someone you thought was 2 years like your junior.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know. I think
Yeah.
there's a lot of gray area with these kinds of things. Like if you're meeting up with someone on Tinder or something, you kind of assume that they're
Not lying.
truthful first of all, and that they put their like you have to be 18 to use Tinder.
Yeah, I wonder if guys like
So, I
that,
don't
if
know.
they would...
It's-
Like, could you possibly sue Tinder if you were in his position for...
No, I doubt it.
Yeah, I mean, they're
doubt
supposed to
they'd
keep
have
her off the
shit.
platform, right, to begin with. It's like, isn't that like going to a restaurant, ordering food, and then getting food poisoning? She was on the menu, but she was poisonous to his fucking life, basically.
It's hard to know. Regardless, Auntie was again 30, right?
No,
30. So.
He was mid-20s. Like, if the girl really was saying that she was 18, then that sucks. I'm just saying to write down that you actually did fuck her,
Oh, yeah,
which is a crime, because even if she was lying about it, it's still viewed as a crime. It's just such a silly idea.
Keep in mind, though,
Yeah.
a lot of these guys, it's not just a case of, oh, mistaken identity, whoops. Yeah, some of them actually are genuinely pedophiles or pedrophile, whatever the fuck the Hebe boop file. They have like the term for that in between a toddler and like a preteen, whatever the fuck they call it. I mean, we all remember, what was it, Austin Jeremy? That guy, the clap your ass cheeks
Austin
guy,
Jones.
where it was like, yeah, tell me you're
Austin
14.
Jones.
Tell me you're 14 and clap your ass cheeks at the camera. Yeah, okay, dude. I mean, that guy could have been in that community. And if he told me, oh, I thought she was 16, I'm not buying it. I don't think he did. She has her fucking retainer in. You know, she has a bow in her hair. She's playing with Barbie dolls. She doesn't look 17 to me.
He was demanding that they tell him that she's 14 anyway. So claiming that he thought they were 16 is not going to work regardless.
Could have been
Yeah,
an
so you could do
accident.
that too.
Maybe he meant to say 18.
I don't know, find an old-looking woman, just, you know, find a grandma, put some makeup on her, look at her only through your phone screen Snapchat youthification filter, and just make her say, I'm 14. Create legal child porn for yourself, you idiot. Don't find actual children. So
You
these
should have
guys, they
seen
all...
some of the suggestions for the Smash community, though, Kaya. Some people
what?
were suggesting at tournaments from now on, anyone under 18 has to have X's on their hands or wear like a lanyard that's a different color or like a uniform.
Do not fuck marks.
Yeah. And people were praising the idea like, wow, it's a great idea. That way we can identify kids, but like, you
And
don't
not
trust
fuck
your
them?
community that much. Yeah, you can't trust people to be around children in your community without trying to fuck a child. You have to
I
mark
mean,
them.
to be fair, like, what, their top 10, like,
Yeah,
a
something
significant
crazy.
majority of their top 10 have just been outed as like actual,
Well-
and I mean actual pedophiles, like going after 14-year-olds.
I heard that one of them was literally the CEO of one of these tournaments. The guy running the
Yeah,
whole
Mr.
deal.
Wizard. Evo.
Evo,
Yeah,
I
Evo.
think. Yeah, that
Mhm.
guy, I think. So yeah, exactly. That was my point too. I don't know if we talked about this on the bonus or not, but last week the whole game developer community had the same Me Too, you know, a wave of Me Too accusations. It's like the suggestions are always shit like, we need to unnormalize and get alcohol out of these venues. Open bars make people more likely to be sexually assaulted. It's like, it's not alcohol that's the problem. It's not children being children that's the problem. If there's, clearly it's the guys, you know, who can't be trusted to keep their hands off the children. What's a fucking red mark gonna do?
Well, still the worst case was still Sin Pai or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
And that was a woman. Like, that was by far the worst case in my opinion. She went after a 14-year-old as a 25-year-old. She was 25. She went after a 14-year-old, which is, you know, fucking awful as it is. But the 14-year-old himself looked like 8, so it was it's somehow even worse.
It was fucking gross, man. Like that, all of that senpai shit was terrible.
Yeah, that was definitely the worst out of this whole situation, and she's just kind of vanished, which is
so
smart.
she was smart. She didn't immediately apologize
implicate
and
herself. Yeah,
oh, see, smart. See, that bitch is probably not gonna get in. Well, none of them are probably gonna get in trouble, but in a court case, she'd probably get away because she didn't immediately admit to the crime publicly. Not that she
But
should.
there's a lot of accounts of her doing that kind of shit. So
hearsay.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you know, screenshots of private conversations don't really. I don't know how they hold up in court. I don't think they should, honestly. Not these days.
I don't think they do, and anyway, like, once you add it, like, once you post it online, it loses a lot of its credibility, since then you can claim that, like, it was just edited online or anything like that. Like, once it's out in the internet on Twitter, it loses a lot of its, like, you know,
Yeah, so
viability.
I want to point this out too. So one of our patrons, Matt Mellon, just said they literally had a job where they can play video games for a living, the dream job, and they had to go and rape a child and ruin it. This is always the point that I make about these celebrities that get like caught fucking a kid or drunk driving or, you know, beating their wives. Is you have the easiest life on the planet. You are more comfortable than most kings and queens have been up until this time in history. It's like if someone gave you a golden car made out of pure gold and they tell you that you get to keep it if you can just drive it home safe. And all you do is fucking grind it against the railing and you drunk drive it into a lake. Like, you couldn't keep it fucking straight for 2 miles, could you? You have an easy life.
I
Just
think
keep
the
it in
same
your
way.
pants. You lunatic. You're rich and famous too. Like, you can... Another thing that, you know, people... is if you are a person, especially a man, in any sort of in the public eye, if you're a public figure, you get to fuck way outside of your weight class. Okay, there's way more girls who are suddenly into you. You don't need to fuck a 14-year-old, and I honestly don't see a reason why they would unless they were specifically into kids. Because there's plenty of women who are of their own age with whom they could date. So that's what I don't get. Why are you so desperate?
What if the celebrity was 14 years old?
Okay, again, don't.
Are they allowed to, wait, they're not allowed to fuck a 14-year-old their own age?
Oh, no, I don't. Well, I don't think 14-year-olds should fuck to begin with, but that's none of my business if a 14-year-old wants to do something with another 14-year-old. But it's like, so let's take that example. Is it Millie Bobby Brown, the girl that Drake is like kind of grooming or tried to groom allegedly?
Yeah.
The Stranger Things girl, yeah. So, she has whole fucking subreddits dedicated to her, you guys. It's fucking creepy. There's grown men just literally doing nothing but posting photos of her in bathing suits, saying, "Oh, look at her, how beautiful she's growing." Dude, Reddit,
yeah.
Can you stop banning innocuous subreddits and maybe do something about that? Work with law enforcement to maybe stop 30-year-olds from posting bikini shots of 10-year-olds? That would be nice. Oh well, there goes the Smash community. Yeah, so if anyone's not a pedophile and good at Smash, now there's an opening. There's a power vacuum.
Now's your shot at the big time.
Boys, before we go any further, I have to let you all know about Spotify. On Spotify, you can listen to all your favorite artists and podcasts in one place, for free. You don't even need a premium account. Spotify has a huge catalog of podcasts on every topic, including the one you're listening to right now, which is, of course, handsome man friends talking about whatever. On Spotify, you can follow your favorite podcasts so you never miss an episode. Premium users can download episodes to listen to offline wherever they go, and you can easily share what you're listening to with your friends on Instagram. If you haven't done so already, be sure to download the Spotify app and search for the official podcast on Spotify, or browse the podcast in the Your Library tab. You can also make sure to follow us so that you never miss an episode of the official podcast on Spotify. Spotify. It's got a lot of music and podcasts. Why aren't you listening to it already?
Another thing they were suggesting is dividing Smash by age groups. That way kids can't play with adults. Basically, it all boiled down to everyone in the Smash community thinks everyone in the Smash community is just going to fuck a child if they're in the same room, so...
It's kind of proven at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there's data to back it up now, but even still, like, it's pretty sad. It's not like the game that's making pedophiles.
I'm telling you,
like when you play Smash Bros, you're just going to start kissing kids and shit.
Like, you can call it ass backwards or whatever, but the Muslims kind of had the right idea by segregating the genders, man. I think they saw that, dude, there's sort of a pattern of men molesting women. Maybe we should put them in different rooms in the mosque and let them pray in peace. Maybe the Smash community should do that if they can't keep their hands to themselves.
Aren't you allowed to marry 12-year-olds in the Muslim community, though?
Hey, you said it, not me. Direct all your bigotry comments to Jackson,
that's
please.
what I heard. These are just allegations of the Muslim community. Unfounded.
The Muslim community is about
Excellent
to apologize
work,
on
Jackson.
Twitter. I know, I've heard everyone during the Smash tournament. So were these like open secrets that everyone knows? Did literally everything just come out all at once? Because it feels like everyone knew.
Apparently most of the top players knew. Like almost every top player except for a couple that I saw at least knew about it and just didn't say anything, or they'd have an excuse for why they didn't say anything. And some of the excuses made sense because someone that was like close to someone involved would be like, look, just don't share this, it's very personal, etc. And they were young, so they just went along with it. But for the most part, it seemed to be like well known in the community. Also, Kaya, an interesting thing, and this has been the star of a lot of this controversy. Apparently, Sky had a house where a bunch of Smash Bros. Players lived, where it was like a ton of dudes and like 15-year-old girls that all lived in like the same house, like the same room. In fact, like 2 bunk beds in the same room, where it's like a 15-year-old girl with like 20-year-old dudes. That's where a lot of like predatory shit came from.
I don't want to accuse him of anything. If you like, I don't know that guy. I think I used to watch his League of Legends videos. You mean that guy? Sky does Williams or whatever?
Yeah, well, it's not like I'm not accusing him of anything except owning that house, which he did. I mean,
so he's
whether
like
or not he
the
knows what happened in
Jeffrey
there doesn't
Epstein
matter.
of the Smash community, is what you're accusing him
Yeah,
of.
basically, he supplied this house for these Smash players, and a lot of terrible shit happened there. Don't know whether or not he knew
It's
about it.
not
but
Sky
that's
does
not the point.
Minecraft, by the way. It's Sky Williams for everyone who's listening.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know what I said.
I mean, he doesn't go by Sky does Minecraft though. He's nobody now.
Yeah, well, still people in chat were saying at the moment.
Oh yeah, no, Sky Williams.
He's welcome to come on to defend himself. Who's his Ghislaine Maxwell? I wonder.
You come implicate yourself on our show instead of your
Publicly
Twitter
apologize
timeline.
immediately. So, I mean, I guess it's a good thing that these guys are, if you've noticed, pedophiles, they're not exactly intelligent people. They're stupid enough to fuck a 14-year-old and then brag about it in their DMs to other people. They're dumb enough to immediately admit it on social media. I guess that's a good thing, because they do immediately admit it instead of, pulling shifty tricks to deceive the public.
Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess the only positive there is like they didn't outright deny it. They just folded like really immediately. So there was never any like wiggle room, you know what I mean?
I usually hate the folding immediately strategy when people are getting cancelled, but it's usually over, frivolous shit. I hate it when people, like, someone will accuse a celebrity of, not even a celebrity, like some nobody, some complete nobody YouTuber with like 10,000 followers will get accused of liking a homophobic tweet 10 years ago. And he immediately apologizes, makes us lengthy screenshots from his iPhone Notes app as if he had just torched an orphanage. Like, my man, just don't apologize. Tell him to suck it. You're perpetuating this.
People can grow over the period of 10 years as well. Like, holding people accountable for shit that they said or did 10 years... Well, unless it's like murder or rape or anything. 10 years ago, though.
For an opinion.
It's pretty...
For an opinion, come on.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking extreme.
You have even in the court system, we have statutes of limitations for a reason. If you steal a fucking loaf of bread 20 years ago, no one's gonna... You can't be fucking arrested for that anymore. Nobody cares. It's done. Let alone opinions.
Did you know the statute of limitations also apply to like violent crimes? Well, not I don't know about murder, but like violent crimes, like what these Smash players are being accused of. Like there are statute of limitations with that kind of shit.
How long?
I didn't know that. I thought like 10 years, I think.
Statute.
Well, they haven't quite reached that point yet, but yeah.
Some of them might have.
Wait, you're saying statute of limitations, like if the statutory rape happened 10 years ago, it's no longer a crime? Like it expires?
That's what I read. I could be wrong. It's American law, so obviously I am not a lawyer.
Apparently, yeah, it's true.
Well, even still, none of it's been 10 years.
Yeah, that's also... None of them
Was I
are
right?
10 years by the sounds of it. Your Honor, she wasn't born then, when I molested her.
I apply for a mistrial on account of my victim not being born yet.
She's too young. She does not know what she said. She was 4 at the time, Your Honor. How would she know? Man. This, I mean, fuck me. It's like, you guys remember Amos Yee or whatever his name was? There was this YouTuber kid who was like, yeah, who was defending babies giving blowjobs. He said, like, if you pull your dick out in front of a toddler and he touches it, that's consent. He was arguing this unironically. You can probably still find the videos on YouTube someplace.
There's a ton of people that now use that same argument for why it's okay to fuck dogs, about how dogs have this ability to consent by wagging their tails. It's fucking disgusting. Thank you, Twitter.
It is fucking disgusting.
God, it's
anything under the age of consent cannot consent legally and morally. Like, and there's no dogs that are over the age of 16, 17 usually. And dogs just can't consent in general.
Thanks for clearing up that confusion, Jackson.
I'm not a lawyer.
That's a joke I sometimes make, is like, do they think in dog years? Like, if it's a 3-year-old fucking dog, do they think like, oh, okay, well, it must be 21. It's legal to fuck this bitch. No. It's still an animal. Stop.
I actually think we're on a fast track to have bestiality be commonly accepted. Like, there's a ton of it on Twitter. And there's already that like movement where
What circles are you running in? Bestiality's. I've never seen any bestiality on Twitter.
Are you serious?
I'm pretty sure he means the
Yeah,
furry
you have to-
community, which it is rampant, Jackson.
No,
Oh, right,
not
furries.
even, not
That's
even.
completely different.
Not even. I'm talking about like the splintered community of furries that actually do have sex with animals. Like that's pretty big on Twitter too. The zoophiles, like
Yeah.
their shit
Wait,
gets.
who are you following?
I don't follow them. I just find them. I like looking at those.
So you go
fringe
looking for
commu-
them?
Well, no,
You
but
like looking at the files?
no. I like going to those fringe communities and learning about it, like the people that do pup play and stuff. And then from that kind of shit, you find things like on the Twitter, the zoophiles community, where you'll have
Yeah.
posts about how we'll be accepted into these movements in only a few years because it's okay to love who you love. It doesn't matter. It's consensual, this and that. And then you'll have like 1,000 something likes with all the comments agreeing. Like, that's right, brother. We're on our way. Soon we'll look back on this 20 years and think of how barbaric it was that we were prosecuted for our love of fucking animals.
Yep. And children. It's fucking crazy that those guys get to have Twitter accounts or social media accounts. But then again, you have to remember half these fucking people work at those social media accounts, right? I mean, they hold positions there. Half of them are fucking programmers at Discord and Twitter, probably. It's like Silicon Valley's infested with these people.
Societal opinions seem to shift ever increasingly faster and faster as to what's right and what's wrong. Like, what's that comedian's name? The guy the big one, Seinfeld, Jerry Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
He dated a 17-year-old when he was, I think, like 35 back in like the 1980s, and everyone was fine with that then. Nowadays, he would be executed.
Yeah. I mean, that's a good kind of progress, but then there's the other kind of progress where, you can fucking put a 9-year-old into drag makeup and make him twerk in a gay bar for money. And somehow you'll have media articles written about how woke it is and how awesome and progressive. It's like, no, it's not. This is creepy. Fucking stop. All right. What else we got? Jackson, have you finished The Last of Us yet?
No, I don't. I haven't yet.
Oh, you motherfucker.
I'm close. I don't want to hear any spoilers.
Okay, damn it. I wanted to talk about
I'm
it.
so close.
Okay, we'll save that then.
Next week.
Although
I do want to hear more about Shane Dawson though. I didn't actually read up into anything about Shane Dawson, just that he had drama with that Taddy Westbrook, I think her name is, as well as Jeffree Star and James Charles from last year. I'm not sure how what's happening with him ties into all of that.
Well,
Charlie?
So Shane Dawson's drama just stems from his old weird videos. He, like, a lot of his videos used a lot of blackface characters, a lot of like racist shit, and a lot of defending pedophiles. Like on a lot of the little podcasts he'd do, he'd talk about why it makes sense for people to be pedophiles. And he'd rationalize pedophilia being okay.
holy shit, that sounds like Harden.
What?
Yeah, no, it's actually pretty fucking weird stuff. And he'd go on these live streams that were predominantly filled with kids, and he'd be like, how many of you are naked right now? I'm feeling kind of horny and stuff like that. And he had like this 13-year-old girl suck on a popsicle stick talking about his cock. And
Whoa, okay.
Yeah.
That's weird.
he also, and the thing that's really got him in hot water in like the mainstream's eye is there's a clip where he was jerking off in front of the Will Smith's daughter, the one that sang "Whip My Hair Back and Forth." Willow Smith, I think her name is. He was like jerking off in front of her picture, talking about how he loved that song and loved her. So then Will Smith's family went on Twitter to attack him.
Well, like
Pretty
actually
wild.
jerking off?
It was a bad joke. He was like
Well,
joking
yeah,
around.
that's the
it
joke,
wasn't
though.
actually jerking off.
Yeah,
But it's still an uncomfortable joke, even for that time period, I feel.
yeah.
Well, when was this?
So, 10 years ago.
10 years
Yeah,
ago.
ish.
How old is the daughter? I thought she was like 10.
No,
She
she's like
was
20.
10 back then.
How old are Will Smith's kids now? I thought there was, for some reason, I pictured them perpetually as these little dweebs who make pseudo-philosophical tweets on Twitter. Like, if mirrors aren't real,
haven't
how
done
are
that-
souls real?
That's their brand.
They haven't done that
They
in a
wanna-
long time, though, but they're early 20s. I think both of them are early 20s now.
Holy shit, really?
21 and 23, probably.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I am old. God, this hurts right now.
It does hurt, right, Kaya? That fucking sucks. It's terrible.
Fuck me, no way. Oh my god, she is 20. Well, she's about to turn 20, I think, but still. Well, thanks.
So I was around her age when he was joking. Do you think he could have jerked off over well, not over me, but like over me at that age? Do you think I would have been as attractive to him as Willow Smith?
If you called into one of his live streams, I'm sure he would. Yeah, he used to. So during like live streams and shit, he'd have like kids on the screen. He'd be talking about how hot they were. He talked about like really hot 6-year-olds on Instagram. Like this, you had a chance, Jackson. You had a real chance.
I literally only saw one video, and I was gonna I didn't go into it. I didn't dig deep because I didn't care enough. But I just figured, oh, that's just like a tasteless, edgy joke that someone must have taken out of context. What it sounds like, what you're telling me is that no, there's an actual pattern.
It's a pattern.
Yeah. Well, that sucks.
No, it's really, really just weird, deplorable shit. Like, you know, I'm all for like not going through someone's past to like cancel them on old jokes they made, but this is a really weird area of what you could even consider a joke. He also is the same guy that ate out his dog, or like gave his dog a rim job.
What?
I can't quite remember what it was, but
wait, what? That's an actual
like
That's a pretty big jump from a joke to a fucking sex act.
The joke was, I'm gonna eat out my dog, and then he did.
Is it evidence?
That's not a joke. That's not at all.
That's not a joke. Then that's just a statement.
It was a cat.
It's like if I said I'm gonna make a coffee. That's not a joke. If I'm drinking coffee.
Oh wait, is that the he comes on his cat?
No,
thing?
no, this is totally separate. He ejaculated on his cat is one, but this is a different one.
Cat.
This is something different. It was a cat though that he ate at, I think.
Oh, that is the same guy. And he apologized and said that was a joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, I vaguely remember.
I mean,
that.
it's.
God, just fucking
I'm starting
don't,
to think
man.
that's not a joke now that there's actual evidence of him eating his cat out. What the fuck? Oh.
Just pro tip to any future video makers or YouTubers or anyone, really. Content creators, video game players, just you make all the edgy jokes you want. You know, I like edgy jokes. I have nothing against those, but try not to involve kids or dogs in your. Like, don't actually do anything. I don't even care if you joke around about it. I don't care if you make a fucking creepy sex joke about fucking dogs. Just don't actually own a dog and imply that you did it with that dog. Because then it becomes really suspicious. It's like, you know, everyone's going to start thinking, oh, wait, did he actually?
Yeah, I mean, his shit's weird. If that's what he was doing 10 years ago, I don't know who was watching. Because I feel like even kids would be scared by that kind of shit.
No, it was absolutely
no,
kids.
I
remember watching
kids are
Shane
fucking
Dawson
stupid,
when I was
Charlie.
that
They're
age.
going to watch that. They're idiots.
But even as a kid, who's going to watch this guy talk about eating out his dog? Or cat,
are you kidding me?
If
you're a fucking 12-year-old, that's the funniest thing to you. It's like, oh my god, you eat dog poo-poo.
Fair. I mean, I guess fair.
It's potty humor, basically. I mean, it
So
seems
he's
to
making
work.
wacky noises.
He got all the fucking 10-year-olds in his yard.
True,
Allegedly.
including me.
Allegedly. We gotta say allegedly to everything we've talked about today. Because I don't want to get in trouble.
Well,
with
yeah,
these
so
fucking...
apart from the Smash community, who again outright declared their guilt on Twitter, that's not allegedly anymore.
No, it's still a blanket statement of allegedly. They could have been lying.
They could have been under duress.
Thank you for immediately admitting your crimes, you dummies.
I still don't think they'll be prosecuted over anything like that.
The only one I think might actually face criminal charges is Senpai. I really feel like she might actually face the court system for what she did.
Yeah, but you're saying she's the only one who didn't admit it. So I doubt it.
She's the only one that hasn't publicly gone on Twitter to admit it, but according to some tweet that I saw, they are handling it legally with Senpai or something. They were talking about how they actually did serve her something over what she did. So that's why I feel like hers is going to be like the exception where something actually does happen in the criminal justice system.
Should probably get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. High five from the judge.
It's the classic case of, 30-year-old teacher gives her 12-year-old student blowjob, gets off scot-free because the judge declared that there was true, genuine love between the two. Fuck you.
I see that so often, yeah. I saw that the other day, actually. That exact same thing about how this woman, I think it was in the UK, was fucking some 12-year-old or 13-year-old student, and she didn't even get any kind of repercussions because the judge was like, yeah, they were clearly in love.
It happens constantly, man.
Wild.
And then it's like everyone, all the guys in the comments are always high-fiving, going, nice, yeah, even if it's true, and, even then, boys and girls aren't the same. The boy isn't gonna be as traumatized by getting a blowjob as the girl is gonna be if her male teacher had penetrated her. Which, even if true, that's not the point. She's a fucking adult, he's a child. She's in a position of power. She's not supposed to do that. I don't care if the boy loved it. That's not the fucking point here. She's a teacher. She's not supposed to do this. There's not supposed to be anything besides a formal and not at most friendly relationship between a student and a teacher. That bitch needs to lose her license. You can't have teachers just, what the fuck?
The age of consent is actually raised over here for teachers.
Really?
I love that fact. Apparently for teachers in Australia, it's a little bit older, just to make sure there's no foul play.
That's actually kind of funny. Like, how much older?
We leave high school. No. Like, we leave high school at 17 over here. So it doesn't, age of consent is usually 16 here, apart from in like one state where it's 17. But if you're a teacher, you're not allowed to fuck anyone under the age of 18 still.
That's more than fair.
And, yeah, I mean, that's definitely fair. And also, another fun fact about Australia is that at least in Queensland where I am, the age of consent for anal was also 18, whereas vaginal was 16, and it only got changed like last year. So you kind of had training wheels for a little bit until you were allowed anal.
You had to level up first, get the battle pass.
Yeah.
So, I mean, what do they count as anal? Like full-on penetration, or can you just still fuck her in the pussy but put a butt plug in?
No, anything to do with the anus.
If your nutsack even touches the asshole, you're prosecuted.
We found one of your poops on her ass. Into jail you go.
They changed it because apparently it was discriminatory towards gay people, which, yeah, fair enough. If gay people aren't allowed to have sex until 18.
I didn't even think about that. See, there's just so many fucking angles to all of these sex laws, and it's just the easiest way to avoid all of them. People just don't fuck kids. How hard is it? They're annoying. Why do you want to fuck kids? Have you ever seen children? They're repulsive. They're annoying.
I was thinking about that the other day. When was the last time any of you guys have ever talked to someone under like the age of 20? I genuinely can't think of the last conversation or even like any kind of interaction with someone under 20 that I've had.
I have family members. I have nephews. I have nieces. They're adorable. I love spending time with them and babysitting them. But if someone touched them or even got the idea or somehow told me, oh, your niece is a little hot, I would kill that guy. It's just such an innocent... Like, when I say they're annoying, Charlie, at the same time, you have no idea just how innocent those children are. How silly and just naive and innocent little... They're puppies. They're literally just as dumb, high energy as puppies. That's basically all they are, intellectually speaking.
That was wholesome. Wow. Kaya loves his family. Get a load of this loser. Dude loves his fucking family. Are you kidding me?
Not my family, but I have... I don't know if it's technically my niece. It's like my cousin's daughter. But she's the most adorable, you guys. I mean, holy shit. She's like 2 years old or something, but she gave me baby fever. Like, that was the first time in my life where I went, holy shit, this is so fun. I want a daughter. This is awesome because she's the nicest. So there's a gigantic difference between boys and girls. Boys are like these little Tasmanian devils running through the house with their snot-nosed faces. They can still be adorable, but, they really get on your nerves. They're super high energy, because they just have too much testosterone for their little bodies to bear. Whereas girls, she's just such a little angel, man. She sits on the couch in her little dress, watches these stupid kids' cartoons where it's like a cow going moo moo, and then, teaching her numbers or whatever the fuck, sipping out of her sippy cup. And she like immediately learned my name. She was like, Uncle Kaya. And then I started juggling for her to entertain her, and she was so fucking entertained. Like, oh my God, it was like the wonder in her eyes, you guys. Like, she thought I just created the universe or something. Her mind was blown. So she would run up to me, grab me by the finger. Clown. So she would try to hold my hands, but, her hands are tiny. So she could only hold one of my fingers. And then she would drag me to her other toys, lead me to her other toys to make me juggle those too. And she would giggle and clap every single time. It was so adorable. Holy shit. Like that I can deal with.
Man,
like that's the moment
coming
in
up
my
on
life
30
which
now,
was
you want kids and shit.
that was like 2 years ago. That one experience of, I think my cousin was out and my his wife needed. I don't know. I was just supposed to babysit the little girl, and with the wife, she was there too. But the one experience in my life, it was life changing. That made me go, okay, I want kids someday. This is nice. I can do this. I'll even put up with the gross parts, with them getting sick and waking you up 10 times a night and having to wipe their asses. I'm okay with that.
That was wholesome.
It was wholesome.
I didn't expect that from the conversation about pedophilia. That's kind
No, I mean, that's the part of it, though. Yeah, man, Charlie, I don't know. It's what you really have to keep in mind, just how innocent kids are, and how
yeah.
Just these people. That's why I have such a gripe against fucking pedophiles. That's why I'm not pro vigilante action, but whenever I read something about like the Alaskan Avenger who goes around killing pedophiles, yeah, I'm for that. Honestly, even if it's extrajudicial, even if he doesn't really technically have the authority to take a human life, I don't consider a human, man. If you hurt that little thing, if you have it in you to hurt children, I don't care anymore. That just it's open season on you. Fuck you.
I think there's always going to be two unforgivable sins, at least to me, which is child abuse and animal abuse, and both for the same reason, just being truly innocent.
Child abuse and animal abuse, and sometimes I get shit for lumping the two together. It's like, Kaya, are you really putting an animal's life on the same level as a human's life? That's not really the point, though, right? The point is that these are innocent creatures that are entirely defenseless, and that there are sociopaths out in the world who somehow have it in them to hurt these innocent, defenseless creatures that just can't do anything about it, who've not hurt them, who've not done anything. They just want to exist and take naps, basically. And I don't want to live in the same society as those people. I think they're dangerous individuals.
Agreed.
I don't see the point in keeping them around. What's the point? Why? Why even in prison? Why even keep them in prison? I don't want to feel like, dude, I wish we lived in a society where I could just let my child roam in the neighborhood and go play with her friends, right? But now you have to worry about, what if a dude in a van pulls up to her, next to her? That's why I'm wildly against the idea of having outdoor cats. I wish I could do that, but I also know that I couldn't never stop worrying about, what if my cat just runs into a fucking sociopath that kicks her? Or does worse?
Yeah.
I can't deal with that. And whenever we do catch those people, I think we should promptly take care of them. None of this 10-year court case, 20 times, spending 20 years on death row shit. No, just fucking promptly give them a court case, take them out back, kill them, put them in a mass grave too. They don't deserve a name. They don't deserve to be remembered. Fuck these people. They got
that's like some
to
Dr. Doom
lighthearted
shit.
to grim again.
Yeah, well, that's kind of what Dr. Doom did in one of the timelines. Dr. Doom eventually created a utopia, not to get like Marvel nerdy on you, but I thought it was a cool timeline, where like all crimes like that would immediately be punished by death, just capital punishment, and he eventually created a utopia this way where everybody and everything was perfect.
I mean, of
So
course,
you're
I
onto something,
understand.
Kaya.
No, I mean, I understand you can't immediately just kill people, and due process is still a thing. But once, in those few cases where everything is pointing in the right direction and that there's no more reasonable doubt, like the pedophile is filming himself with his face, taking selfies and like with the children, and there's like 500 terabytes of video evidence of him committing these crimes. Okay, why does he still need like 10 years of a court case? Why are we fucking pissing away man hours trying to defend this guy? For what? Why? So maybe he can get life in prison instead of a death sentence? What's the fucking point?
I don't know.
Okay, that's my soapbox for the week.
Slippery slope. I guess that's the only reason it could be. That once you go on that path, you keep kind of pushing the what do you call it, the goalposts until you're executing people that you think might have stolen something from
the Overton window
convenience store.
Yeah, but again, those aren't never theft, never anything. I agree with Charlie. It's like just the worst things, hurting the innocent, You know, if you're hurting somebody who's disabled, a child, an animal, if you rape them, or if you kill. Those are
Just really inhumane shit.
really inhumane shit where I actually had like an idea for it. This has probably been done before, but like a fun movie idea that I had that I would have loved to do if I was, you know, a billionaire. Like we talked about on the last bonus, I think, what projects we would fund. No, that was last week actually, wasn't it?
No, it was a couple weeks ago.
Anyway, one thing I would fund is like a movie about how when you hurt somebody, when you commit any crime, you don't get punished legally, but you only lose the protection of the same crime, basically. You lose a right. So let's say you kill somebody. What happens is that you lose the right to live. That means the police isn't going to arrest you. You don't have to go to prison. But if someone else now kills you, that's not a crime for them. It's allowed to kill you. So if you get raped,
That's some anime shit.
you can be raped.
All right, so what about if you're like to take this back to the thematic purpose of this episode? It seems if you're a pedophile, what happens then? Because you're no longer a child,
Well,
so you can't
that's
really
still
have
rape.
someone.
That's still rape. So if that
Now
kid's
children
dead,
can prey on you.
well, according to
Now
the Smash
children can
community.
fuck you.
No, but so, you know, if that kid's dad wants to hunt you down and hold you down, fuck you in the ass until you bleed to death, that's legal.
Wait, no, that's murder. That's different.
Well,
Yeah, wait, whoa.
He needs to give you a good time.
okay,
Yeah,
I have
what the
not
fuck,
worked
Kaya?
on the
You've broken your own
script.
rules.
I'm just saying, I think it would be fun to... The concept of, you know, it stems from the golden rule. Treat others as you want to be treated, right? So however you treat others, they will now treat you
that'd
that
be a cool
way.
title
So
for
if
it,
you
too.
steal from someone and then, you know, somebody else steals your TV, you no longer can call the cops to bitch about it. They'd be like, well, sorry, sir, you lost your theft protection rights 2 years ago, it seems. You stole a banana. That's out of shit.
Is there a statute of limitations on this? Like they can only steal from you for a year? Because I can see
Yeah,
that being
okay.
extremely
I'm okay with
annoying.
that too, yeah. For like genuinely terrible shit like murder, it could be 10 years. For minor stuff like, you know, if you get caught shoplifting, maybe people are allowed to cut you off and take your wallet for, I don't know, like 2 weeks. You know, minor shit.
I think it has I don't know how you're going to pull this movie off, Kaya, but if you need a name, I think Golden Rule is a great name for it.
That is a cool name.
That is a
That
great
is a cool
name.
name. Thank you. Yeah. Well, I'm open for funding. Netflix, Notch, Bezos, Elon. Kanye is now running for president. If you want to drop that fucking stupid idea and just give me some money for a cool movie.
Wasn't he always running for president?
He was
No,
saying
it's an official
2024.
campaign now, Jackson.
No, he was hinting at it for 2024, you know, dipping his toe in. Now apparently he's announced it on Twitter, which I'm sure it's just a publicity stunt, but
Yeah.
Announced it for 24, or is he going up against Trump for 20?
2020, he says on Twitter.
But he likes Trump. I don't understand.
That could be a
Does
publicity
he still
stunt.
like Trump?
Oh yeah, he does, I
Probably.
think. I mean, this would, you know, bury Trump. I don't want to get too political, but I mean, it would be kind of fun. It's at this point, let's not pretend like there's any sort of dignity to the process of electing American president. So let's just throw that idea out the window. But I mean, it could be fun to have a candidate who's not a, you know, 70-year-old senile pedophile or a, you know, immoral fucking handsy fat dumbass fuck. So yeah, go ahead, Kanye. Fucking make Elon Musk your vice president. Let's see it happen.
Yeah, it'd be great.
I don't care.
Let it
anymore.
ride.
Mm.
I feel like America's just kind of like a social experiment at this point anyway. Let's just see how it ends.
I have pretty high hopes if he does run of him winning.
Who, Kanye?
Yeah.
I don't think he'll end up
Why?
running. So, okay, we have two bets this
It probably is a
episode.
publicity stunt, but I think he'd win.
You genuinely think he would win?
I actually think he would win, 100%.
He could. There's definitely a possibility, Jackson. Trump won. People
I
laughed at
guess,
that. Watch as the mainstream media says that Kanye has like a 0.01% chance of winning. What a ridiculous idea. And then he blows them out of the water. And then all of the next 4 years, you're going to have to be dealing with the United States of Kanye or some shit stupid fucking album that he's going to record instead of actually leading the country.
Better than playing golf every day, though. I'd at least like something in return, like a new album for his time, not spent leading the country.
Like Kickstarter.
It's like...
But
What?
independents never win, right? They've never won.
Yeah,
Even Donald Trump had to become a Republican.
Yeah, but independents have never been this fucking filthy famous. He could win. It's always possible. It's nothing is impossible in America again. If he does, it's gonna be like, President Kanye, there's riots in the streets. The country is on fire. You'll be like, you know what's fire? My next tape, bro. Just wait until tomorrow. It'll soothe the souls of all the blah, blah, blah.
Just give me a stage out there. I'll put this to bed.
Just give me a stage.
All these presidential statements and stuff will be raps. I think that'd be sick.
It'd be like the Hamilton play, just talking in raps.
See, I'm down for that.
Yeah, honestly, I am too now. I don't give a shit. I'm Australian. Fuck, I don't care. Anything that happens in America is just entertainment, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2 bets.
Not for you, though, Charlie.
2 bets we have this episode. Will Ghislaine Maxwell make it to her court case? And will she say anything important?
I'm gonna say yes.
And will Kanye actually end up running?
No. Those are my 3 bets.
I'm gonna say
yes, no.
I'm gonna say yes to Kanye running and no to Ghislaine making it to court.
I'll say Ghislaine will make it to court, say nothing important. She'll just say she didn't know anything about it or whatever, and just accept like the best deal she can get while saying the least she can. And Kanye will not run. So we can revisit this in 3 months, 4 months until the election. Until then, I'm sure Ghislaine will be either dead or
she'll be running for president.
That would be a nice twist. Okay.
Yeah. Kai, did you want to mention the shirt that we've got going up this week? Because this episode doesn't come out to the end of the week, so it might be worth mentioning it now anyway.
Fuck me, yeah, you're right. Yeah, we're making a new shirt based on the idea of human beings bred to wanting to be eaten. So look out for that. You can go to official.man/merch to get it. It'll be up by the time this episode has been edited and airing. So go there, official.man/merch. And if you do buy it, send us a photo of you wearing it. And maybe we can finally start using our Twitter accounts and retweet stuff. Yeah, that's basically it.
Yeah, we'll put it up in the episode.
Go check it out. It's made by our own resident Discord moderator and artist Crom. Great art.
Oh, that was made by Crom?
Yeah, he's a great artist.
Yeah, fuck.
And by that time, I think we can also put it on Screen Jackson if you want. So let's make that happen.
It might be on screen right now. Well, it will be. Yeah, it's on screen right now.
Get a shirt, get a mug.
Oh, look how good it looks.
Whatever, I'll try to put it on everything as I can. Maybe even a fucking mask so we can wear it.
The plan for us is to kind of update our merch store more frequently now. We want to put out like a relevant design every couple of weeks or so.
Yeah, we're going to dust it off a little. All right. Go there.
Yeah.
Official.man/merch. And for our Patreon, you can go to patreon.com/theofficialpodcast for official episodes. Oh, by the way, to mention, we're going to, in the future, consolidate the tiers into the $5 tier. That means we're going to soft lock the $15 tier. Let's say, for example, so if you're in it, you don't have to get out of it. You're not going to lose any of your perks, but all of the perks from all tiers, the $1, $5, $15, $25, they're all going to be now in one tier, the $5 tier. So for just $5, you can get early access to episodes, bonus episodes, and we're also thinking of making exclusive merch for patrons only. All of that stuff. We're going to make it a soft transition. It just
kind of simplifies the whole process. Yeah.
So we're not going to... No one's going to get kicked out of their tier, by the way. So if you're in the $1 tier, don't worry. It simply means that we will prevent Patreon from letting new people sign up to, say, the $15 tier. The $5 one will be the only one you can use. Check that out if you would like to support us. If you've noticed, we didn't have ads this episode. Sometimes we have a low week like that, so your support actually does keep us alive. And you get almost, I think we're up to 58 bonus episodes. Going to be celebrating 60 soon.
Holy shit.
58 hours of bonus content for you if you haven't already signed up to patreon.com/theofficialpodcast.
Man,
that is
think of how many
insane.
Think of how many bonuses we've actually done, because that's 58 in the updated format from a year and a half ago.
Mm.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And then we had, I think, 40 post shows. So yeah, there's about 100 extra episodes to go listen to over.
Holy
Yeah.
fuck! I forgot about that. Holy shit, that's a ton.
There's all, and again, if you sign up for the $5
We've
tier,
been doing this for a while, almost 4 years, right?
you get a
It's almost 4
convenient
years.
you get a convenient RSS feed with the main episodes and the bonus episodes all in one. So if you're using a podcatcher like Podcast Addict or whatever, they'll be all in the same feed. And we have the Patreon Discord. Live chat. People always post relevant links and funny memes in there, so you can join us during our live shows. Okay. And we will see you guys next week. Unless you're a patron, in which case we'll see you tomorrow, actually. So.
Beautiful. Alrighty, hello everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the official podcast. You have your 4 regular boys here, the same boys you've known and loved for 187 episodes, but with one additional guest today, the YouTuber known as Friendly Geordies.
Hello. Nice to
Hi.
meet the 4 of you and your audience.
Yes, it's nice for you to be here with us, Jordan. If I may call you that.
Oh, no, exposed. Yeah, well, I guess you legally can, can't you?
So you're both Australian.
It's right there in the username.
I can tell, right?
So you must know each
Debatable.
other.
Yeah. How big is
I
Australia anyway?
I think I ran into him. Yeah, it's somewhere between small and pretty fucking large.
Yeah, do you guys have like a little group chat? Just all the Australians?
No, we haven't gotten around to that. We're a very lazy people.
I think the closest we have to that is those Facebook community pages all of our mums have joined. That's about it.
Yeah,
Like,
fair, yeah.
I think that's just your mom with the porn pages, Jackson. I don't think Friendly Geordie's mom is on those pages.
yeah.
Hey, there's
No,
still time.
It's true though, I swear. Facebook is literally only for people's moms and dads. And I don't know if you guys saw, but they have a new interface now. But has that worked? Has anyone under the age of 50 joined Facebook recently? Does anyone
I'll
know?
look for you right now, Kaya. I'll be our boots on the ground. Let me take a peek.
All right.
Wait, you're gonna go look for kids on Facebook?
It's
while
going
we're
to ask Mark
recording an episode?
Zuckerberg.
Well, no, I was looking at the new UI. What do you mean?
All right.
I've just Google elementary school chat rooms on Facebook. Yeah. The UI looks about the same, really.
But to answer your question, no, I don't think anyone under the age of maybe the age of retirement uses Facebook anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think but it's still so prevalent. I don't understand how it can be so prevalent when only geriatrics use it.
I think it is like a retirement home. We're never going to run out of old people. So when they get too old for Reddit and Twitter, they move on to Facebook, where the nursing staff
100%.
takes care of them. And nursing homes could probably
cute.
come pre-installed with Facebook on the devices if they have devices.
Facebook is the Florida of the internet. That's amazing.
So, Jordy, are you not more scared of all the fucking vermin running around in Australia than you are of the virus? Because I remember us going through a list of all the poisonous animals in Australia on a
That was like
post
last week,
recently.
yeah.
Yeah. You have, I mean, there's